The Yankees won back-to-back series to open the season, and they're 4-2 through 6 games. The season is pretty fresh, I know. So let's check in with the New York Post's Dan Martin to get his thoughts on the Yanks' hot start. Dan, thanks for joining us. 4-2 isn't bad for a team that started the season with 9 guys on IL, but what is bad is the rough start of the season for Aaron Hicks. He's 0-7 with 3 strikeouts, and he didn't even play in Wednesday's game. Should fans be concerned, or better yet, should he be concerned?
Well, Brandon, he certainly is concerned. He's not sure what his role is. The Yankee fans have let their concern be known in the first week of the season. Pretty much every time he steps on the field, he's booed. You know, they were upset with him even going into the season just because he hasn't lived up to his contract. The past couple of years have been rough, and then he got off to this rough start, as you said, 0-7 with a few strikeouts. And so as soon as he does anything wrong, whether it's a strikeout or any type of miscue, the boo birds are out, and they're out in full force. So he says he understands it. You know, he's been around a long time. He's been through adversity before. But look, the Yankees have to be worried because this is a contract that has not panned out for quite some time. And he's still got 3 years and $30 million left on that contract. So at some point, they have to either hope that he gets back to the way that he played when he earned that contract, or they're going to have to make a decision because this can't go on for 3 more years, regardless of how much money he's owed on that deal.
All right, let's get to the good and talk about a guy who's not getting booed. In fact, second baseman Gleyber Torres is balling. What have you seen from him this early in this season, and what do you think his potential could be with this club?
We've seen that potential for a long time. You know, he's a guy who had 38 home runs in one of his first seasons in the majors. It hasn't been as good the last few years. And look, he was in trade rumors starting in July of last year. He was asked yesterday if the uncertainty throughout the second half of the year and even into the offseason about what his future was with the Yankees served as a motivating factor, maybe gave him a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He said, not really. You know, he said he's always motivated. But look, it would only be natural that he would want to prove himself. He likes playing for the Yankees. It's the team that's, that traded for him as a part of a big deal a few years ago. And when he's on, there are a few players better. The problem with Gleyber has been inconsistency. You know, last year he had a great stretch for over a month and then would go into a tailspin for a few weeks. So this is very encouraging this first week of the season. He's hitting the ball the other way more with a lot of authority. So that's a good sign. Also, he's walking more than he ever has in his career, striking out less. These are all positive signs that the Yankees really can look at with optimism. And, in terms of his future, I think that, he's been one of their better players so far. So obviously they want him to stick around. And practically, Josh Donaldson just came down with a hamstring tightness yesterday. So who knows? He might wind up on the IL. That would put DJ LeMahieu at third and leave Torres at second on an everyday basis. So, they really need him right now, and he's hitting as well as anyone in the game. So obviously he's been a huge boost to them this first week.
Gerrit Cole's also having a hot start. Do you think that he can keep that momentum going for the rest of the season and live up to that $324 million contract?
He's been dominant these first 2 starts. It's an encouraging sign for the Yankees after, he was good last year, very good. But he did struggle with giving up home runs. He gave up 33, which was a career high. Other than that, he pitched well. So far this year, 2 starts, both in cold weather, which is something that he's had trouble dealing with before. But he's pitched very well in both of those outings in the Bronx and the chilly conditions. So that's a good sign. This is who they thought they were getting when they signed him. He's it's impossible to live up to $324 million. People are always going to nitpick, but he is pitching like an ace, like one of the best pitchers in the game. To really live up to that contract, though, he's going to have to do it in October. So he's been excellent for them so far. He's given them just what they needed, especially with the issues they've had in their rotation. As you mentioned, the 9 guys on the IL. Well, Severino, Rodon, and Frankie Montas are 3 major parts of that rotation. Obviously, Montas is probably out for the year. But while they're waiting for Severino and Rodon to come back, which it sounds like they're making good progress, Cole's performance and the length that he gives them is even more key, and he's delivered as well as they could have hoped.
It's been a completely different start to the season this year as opposed to last season. The Yankees are back in action Friday. They start that series against Baltimore. Dan, thanks for joining us.
You bet, Brandon. Anytime.